And now, podcasting from the sun-scorched desert Southwest, weighing in at a combined total of 340 pounds, Brad Winchester, Tyler McDowell-Blanken, are Gimmick Infringement.
Welcome, everybody, to the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me is my tag team partner, Tyler McDowell-Blanken. Tyler, Happy New Year, my friend. How are you?
Happy New Year, my man. I am doing so well today. Can't believe it's January 1, but here we are, another episode. How was your New Year's Eve? What was going on at Casa Winchester?
It was good. It was relaxed. It was snacks and movies and trying to keep Freya sane and awake to varying success until midnight because she really wanted to see the ball drop. Once we got there, she didn't want to see it. She was just mad. She was way too tired. And then she was happy afterward and was toasting with us with her sparkling apple juice, which ended up being also a fight. So it ended up being sugar-free, caffeine-free Coke Zero, I think. So whatever she toasted with us. We had champagne. It was really nice, really relaxed. I kind of loved it. I'm not a big go out and celebrate kind of person for the new year. I'm sure I was in college, but I don't remember anything major that was any kind of good. So I was really happy to stay in and just have a good time. How about you?
Yeah, same here. I don't know what it is about us in this instance, but I think we agree that New Year's isn't really the biggest deal. Like Christmas obviously is such a whole thing that you prepare for, and you know, if you celebrate, you probably have your own traditions. But for New Year's, it's just sort of, okay, it's another day. And yeah, it's exciting. We got a new year ahead. But like you, I haven't had maybe the most grandiose celebrations over the years. I was just cleaning and organizing and doing a few things around the house, but definitely not going to Westgate, near where the Cardinals play here in Arizona or anything like that. So I know I have friends who did their thing and went their places, and it was great to see that. But like you, very low key, some great college football games as well. Like historically great. Obviously the first one, not the outcome that we wanted. The second game though, I think for you, Brad, the outcome that you were hoping for. Just by no means am I a college football historian, but those games were just incredible. So I spent several hours yesterday.
They didn't feel like they were going to be, right? Like the first half of both games felt like it was going to be a problem. And then suddenly it's literally the last seconds.
Historic
of the games. Yeah.
Yeah. Both were amazing.
High scoring.
Just, yep.
Yeah. Really,
underdogs,
really good stuff.
Right? Like,
yeah. When I saw Ohio State go up, I was like, oh, great.
And the kicker, they had the game. I mean, obviously, we don't like. I feel bad when this happens to the kickers. But Brad, I don't know that I've recalled. We're not a football podcast, but I don't know that I've recalled seeing a shank in such a big moment. Like I instantly, I was sad for that guy. I don't even remember his name now, but it wasn't close.
There was a U of A football game that was like that maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah,
where I think it maybe longer than that. I think it was a Rich Rod game. And
the Zendejas kickers, the Zendejas family.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And it was just Shank City left and right. I remember my timeline just lighting up because all my Tucsonan friends really angry at this poor 19-year-old kicking a ball.
Yeah. I guess my question then is, because it was kind of interesting that the commentators were saying this guy is as solid as it gets in college football. Today, he's made a 25 and a 48-yarder, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now here's his 50-yarder to win the game. And they were saying, this is the moment you dream of when you're a kid.
No pressure. No.
And then, of course, what's his name? Kirby Smart from Georgia calls a timeout to ice him. And then, okay, here's the moment. And it just instantly, again, it wasn't even close. I felt really bad for him. And, that's a case where you think, oh, man, yeah, if I were in that situation with the pressure of that stadium just being on me, I don't know that I would have executed that. But it was, to your point, just really, really great games, high scoring. And that second game led us into midnight effectively. So that was kind of my day.
Yeah, really. It's the only time of year that I feel like I have to mute Jesse the Buckeye and kind of felt like really rubbing it in after the ha 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 Michigan lost ha 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 stuff. It's like, well, you lost twice this year. That
Yeah.
must feel really bad in a
Don't
big
speak too
game, and then
soon.
against Go Blue, against my guys. But I'll forever root for that team until somebody does something really terrible. Like if we have a Sandusky situation,
Oh,
I will
oh,
NFL
that
football that whole school.
we also we skipped a few steps there to get to
Well,
yeah,
I mean, like,
please.
what else could possibly make me lose my fandom there?
It
Like,
would
I
have
just,
to be
if you can still cheer for the University of Arizona after Rich Rodriguez, after all the other things that have happened there, then you could do anything. That stuff is mild. It would have to be pretty egregious. And the Sanduskys of the world, hopefully, I didn't make that plural, but kind of feels like, I don't know how you would even be a Penn State fan after Sandusky, after Joe Pa, after all of that stuff. I would have such a hard time with it, but people find a way. I suppose I have not found my way back into liking the NFL this year. So I've watched a little bit here and there, like Thanksgiving, caught a little bit this weekend, on, was it Saturday before Christmas? And that's kind of it. And I doubt I'll watch anything today unless I'm over at the in-laws and it's on. But it's also because there's a lot of wrestling content on, and between the podcast, the old stuff that I watch, between that and you and I exchanging texts about what happened in Noah today, with Nakamura and the Great Muda.
Yeah, the violin is back.
Yes, the violin, that white robe that Nakamura wore in was clean. That was real nice going in, and then him leaving just covered in grizzle and face paint and Muda mist from his own. I thought that was great that he stole the Muda mist from Muda and then used it on him. I don't know if you caught that clip, but
No, I did not. I knew the mist
absolutely
played a role in the match based on the video at the end, but
he absolutely went in there and got it from him.
wow.
Yeah, and then sprayed it right in his face. Yeah, it was great.
And he won the match.
And he won the match.
What a weekend for the artist.
Yeah, it was really good. I feel a little bad because those the rules for the matches. I doubt anybody was allowed to sing along to his theme song, so they're probably all humming like, because what a spectacle. But Japan has those rules in place still for wrestling matches where they're allowed to not loudly yell but politely cheer, because they don't want them spraying COVID all over the place. Still trying to mitigate there, and being right next door to China where it's a real problem again. I understand that, but it's something to behold to know that I was up at 7 a.m. A little before that actually to see these tweets, and I'm about to ruin my sleep schedule entirely, knowing full well that Wrestle Kingdom is only in a couple of days here, and I will be up for it. I will be 3 a.m. in that show. I cannot wait for it, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm so stoked to not only read the results, but to get your take on it. You've spoken on air about your excitement levels just reaching a fever pitch. So I feel for you with the with the sleep schedule. I know it's going to totally change your sleeping pattern.
I mean, I'm totally
it's going to be well worth it. No regrets. Wrestle Kingdom should be incredibly newsworthy.
Yeah, for the people that don't know, my bedtime is like between 8 and 10. Usually it's closer to 10. It's almost never 8 o'clock, but like 9, 10 o'clock, I got to go to sleep. 10 o'clock, I am a dead man. For me to have stayed up until 1 a.m. last night was a struggle. I was sleeping in the daytime. I was like already tired, ready for bed at 1 p.m. yesterday. Because Tyler, like you, I spent the entire time doing chores. Just getting caught up on stuff, like this. I have the time. There's stuff going on. I'll stay home. I'll do this. And I finally did finish my Lego pirate ship. It is done.
And it looks beautiful.
No idea where to put it. It's currently in my closet because it is massive and it's going to go on the bookshelf, I think, but I moved those books out of the way. Now where did the books go? So we'll see where it goes.
Beautiful. I'm excited.
Well, let's get into it, man. We had a lot of good wrestling this week. A well, less than usual, I should say, because we also had a recap show. So we have one less WWE show to talk about, but we do have some really big WWE stuff to talk about as well. I have a feeling that's where you're going, but go ahead and hit me with your first question.
Yeah, great setup as always. So, what a week at WWE, particularly on SmackDown. Some major developments, Brad. Uncle Howdy attacked Bray Wyatt. And I think I'm in, by the way. I really enjoyed that segment. So maybe my my feelings on Bray and me just feeling down about everything that's going on, maybe those are shifting a bit. But Uncle Howdy attacked Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail City, and it's official. It's Wyatt versus LA Knight in a Mountain Dew pitch black match at the Rumble. Easy for me to say. John Cena returned. He and KO defeated the Bloodline. Some potential seeds were planted for a hit row heel turn. But I think we need to give Ronda Rousey her flowers this week. Yes, I said it. Brad, I witnessed my favorite Ronda Rousey match, maybe ever. She tore it up. Yes, I mean it. She tore it up with Raquel Gonzalez on SmackDown. But the timeline is mostly discussing what happened after the match. Charlotte Flair returned and became SmackDown Women's Champion, sans a Money in the Bank briefcase. My question for you, was this too soon?
They at least had a match, and they didn't Becky Lynch the title, but I don't know. I feel like it's too soon since the Becky Lynch thing. So, and that was over a year ago, but it's still. We talked about it on the review show. We still have feelings about that 20-some second match where Bianca lost the title to Becky. And this felt a little bit like that, but we wanted it to happen. So I'm good with it. I think it was fine. It made sense. More than anything, I don't think they Beckied. I think they Ricky Starks, because Ricky was like, well, I lost, but anyway. And then out comes Hook. He accepts the challenge. He loses. I thought Shayna pleading with Ronda, like, no, you just had this match. By the way, I also really enjoyed that match. Do you know why I thought it was the best of Ronda's matches?
What was that?
Because they had Ronda beat Ronda.
Yeah.
Ronda was in there doing
an excellent match.
I thought it was
really
great.
Enjoyed that.
It was Raquel doing really good Raquel things, which is just tossing people around. It was awesome. And then Ronda finding really cool ways to try different submissions, always going after the arm. Like, it made complete sense, man.
And
I thought that was
the finish was great.
It was great.
Off
Absolutely
the top rope, and
she
still has her in the arm bar.
Because she had her in the arm bar and she wouldn't tap, and then doing it off the top rope, the immediate tap out was awesome. I totally agree with you.
Like you said, I think it was really equal levels of brilliance. Like, Ronda looked awesome, and for Raquel, I think we forget that she was a huge deal in NXT. Do you remember for that maybe 6-month stretch where, I mean, it was just high praise everywhere for her for good reason.
Yeah.
I think some of that excitement for her has really dissipated for whatever reason. So I was just great to see her in a really prominent spot and to deliver in the massive way that she did.
I totally agree with you. She's super over. You heard that music when her music hits now. Her music is great, by the way. When her music plays, people go nuts, and she's different. She does the back flex to show like the massive muscles and the back dimples, like absurdly powerful woman. Like the way she had Ronda up with one arm for a while was so impressive. And I thought she was going to powerbomb her on the table, and they okie doked us, and she dropped her on the apron.
On the apron.
Oof.
Yeah.
I thought that ruled.
I love this so much.
I thought it was great, man. Like I'm with you. Was it too soon? After that match, I kind of feel like it was, but after this run, no, it was time. This feels like a Charlotte Ronda WrestleMania setup more than likely, which is that's fine. Or heel Rhea taking the strap from babyface Charlotte. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this. I'm kind of okay with it. It's so funny that my biggest question for our year-end reflection, our awards show, my biggest question for WWE is, what do they do to help fix the SmackDown Women's Championship? This is one of the things I think they do to fix it. So,
Yeah. Triple H is a viewer of GI. I
yeah,
think
that's it. Yeah,
is
yeah,
my
yeah,
takeaway, because
yeah,
I mean, we were talking about how much we miss Charlotte, like what, a week ago, right? On our
yeah.
episode. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, bro, I don't think anyone predicted that she was going to be back. Maybe Rumble at the soonest, but for her to just show up in the middle of SmackDown, new music, new gear. And oh, by the way, she also leaves with the belt. Like, wow, I did not have that on my Friday bingo card.
Well, what's funny, because we recorded that show on Friday while while SmackDown and partially Rampage were actually airing. So I was saying I hope they fix the SmackDown Women's Championship while Charlotte Flair was winning it. So feel I feel certain things, but knowing full well after you sent me that text and said spoiler alert, that it was going to publish at midnight and there was nothing I was going to do to stop it. So
It's a done deal. Yeah.
yeah. But I thought it was great. I don't think it was too soon. I think it was probably the right thing to do, because now I'm invested. It makes me more excited for Raw, to be honest, because if that happened there, what's going to happen on Raw now that they've had a week off? So we'll see. What say you?
Yeah. Man, I'm a little conflicted on this. I think in large part because I just saw, like I said, probably my favorite Ronda Rousey match ever, excluding her debut where she had that mixed tag partnering with Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie. So I was like, oh man, I think maybe I could actually get down with some Ronda Rousey character stuff now. And then, the title is taken from her, and I think that also fits into the unfortunate narrative that we hear often about. Charlotte just sort of gets what she wants and she's put on a higher pedestal than any other woman in the division. But ultimately, am I more excited about the SmackDown Women's division now? Yes. So I think that says something.
Yeah.
To your point about what's next for Ronda, I think Becky is the path for her. And quite frankly, I don't believe that Becky and Ronda would need a title to have a match at WrestleMania. I think that would be the non-championship women's match for WrestleMania in LA this year. So to me, all signs point to that being it. Charlotte versus Rhea. Rhea may be getting some WrestleMania revenge against Charlotte. Because remember, they had that pandemic WrestleMania match. And if you fast forward, maybe now Rhea gets the belt. I would be all here for that. Not sure who the challenger would be for Bianca. Maybe Asuka/Kana, maybe someone else, maybe a multi-women's match. Yeah, Brad, I love this. Charlotte injects some new life into the division. And like I said, I think Ronda will still have a really prominent match at WrestleMania. My prediction would be a grudge match against Becky Lynch. Non-title, which is perfectly fine by me.
I don't know. The reports coming out are that, for at least for now, and you know how those things can change, is that that's not going to be the WrestleMania match.
I would be so shocked. Do we really want to see Charlotte versus Ronda?
I don't know. I don't know that I need to see Ronda versus Becky like that.
Really? Wow.
No, that was so long. That was 3 years ago, man.
Yeah, like, Survivor Series, the bloody nose, and
yeah, I think all of that was great, but like they've gone on and done other things. Ronda left and had a kid. Becky left and had a kid. Becky came back as a heel, as big time Bex. Ronda's been big time eyeshadow for most of this time. I don't even know how to define her run. Up until the last couple of weeks, I've hated it. And the last couple of weeks, I like her banter with Shayna. Pairing her with Shayna was a smart decision. But now that the straps are off of them, I wouldn't hate them going after the tag belts and then just taking them.
I'd be good with that.
I mean, just who's stopping that? Like, I don't care who Damage Control is.
No one.
You're not stopping Shayna and Ronda at a tag. Like, it's just
maybe that's the match. Maybe Damage Control versus Ronda and Shayna.
Because I don't even know that Ronda's a draw anymore. I know she's a huge name and everything, but I don't know how popular her merch sales are. I don't know anything about that stuff. So, and I don't know what metrics they use to decide who goes where. If it's just audience reaction, because I think Ronda and Becky would be huge, and it would be a WrestleMania match. But they're gonna have to build the crap out of that, because that heat, that interest is gone. It's how many new fans have come back to the product. Like, Tyler, that feud happened before I cared about wrestling again. I didn't even know about it.
It was a minute ago.
It's 2023. That was either early 20 or late 19.
Yeah,
That was an eternity ago.
no doubt. I just don't think they're going to not have that match. And so then, okay, do you save it for SummerSlam? Do you save it for 2024? I would be shocked if they don't have that match this year. And I think WrestleMania is going to be the place.
I think they could build it easily. They just have to. And right now they're not even on the same brand. So I don't know how they're going to do that unless they do another draft or they give one of them a reason to go over to the other brand other than like, I'm here to beef. Like there's going to have to be maybe they have a face off at the Rumble.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. I want to give you my question here. That's a great question by you. And I'm glad we're talking about the women so much. Because I have another question about the women or a woman in particular. One, Sasha Banks. Of course I'm going to. So with Sasha Banks, Mercedes Varnado, Mercedes Mone, or Mone Banks, which I'm not convinced that she's not pronouncing it Money Banks, come on. Officially a free agent and likely heading to New Japan or Stardom to do some work. And yes, I know, hopefully for you and me, AEW. So what does the WWE, if anything, need to do to respond? And did they already respond by doing it with the new presentation and the championship for Charlotte Flair?
Yeah. It's a fantastic question by you. I think you and I are both of the belief that not only are we going to see Sasha appear at Wrestle Kingdom, but January 11th, LA at the Forum. I like how everyone is doing their sleuth work online based on the silhouette that came out for the AEW tag match. It's like, okay, that silhouette doesn't look like Sasha, but
no, they did it. They did it for somebody else too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like just generic.
Yeah.
It was that's Sasha in the background with the blue hair. And I'm like, it's clearly light reflecting off hair. And everybody's like, no, that's Sasha's blue hair. It's like, it's light.
Yeah.
It's effing light. It's
like
just air.
Yeah, like you, I haven't put much stock into that. I think we're getting her in both of these places we desire. But again, great question by you in terms of what's WWE's response. So yes, for sure about, Charlotte's return maybe being a preemptive, like, hey, we have great women over here too. And look at arguably our biggest star in the division is back and has the title. So yes, for that. In terms of what else they could do, because we know January is shaping up to be a huge month with the company, especially because our favorite pay-per-view that they offer, our favorite premium live event that they offer is obviously at the end of the month in the Royal Rumble. I don't know, man. I really think this Kana shift for Asuka is going to be a big deal. If she is in fact turning in such a massive way, I don't think that it's just going to be a mid-card act and then sort of go away after a while. If she is in fact turning, I think she's going to be in the championship conversation. And I think that a lot of the fan base is going to be super geeked for that. I know I'm obviously looking at one member of the WWE universe here who I know is going to be ready for this shifting Asuka character. So I don't know that there's a free agent or even an NXT call up that would be on par with the Charlotte return. But I think Charlotte being back is a massive deal. I think Asuka shifting is going to be right up there. And we also have Alexa Bliss hanging out. Is she going to join Bray Wyatt? Is she doing something else? She's a massive star in her own right. So those are the three names that pop out to me. How about you, though?
No, I'm totally in agreement with you. I think the way that will have to respond is by telling us good stories. That's kind of it, right? Like, I don't know what else they could possibly do. Although they'll hopefully they stay away from it on commentary. Hopefully they're not like, oh, she's a disappointment, she's a disgrace, all of those things they said. They disappointed the WWE universe, which I don't think Triple H would do something like that. I also don't think that they would have left if Trips was in charge. So we'll never know. And it seems like this kind of seems like it had been brewing for a while for Sasha. So I don't know.
There was the Stone Cold interview, right? Where sort of alluding to, what was the great line? I eat steak too. Yeah. Just like Vince McMahon, and with veggies on the side. If it's true, we have no idea if this is true, obviously, but if it's accurate that they, quote unquote view Sasha as being sort of a peg underneath the Charlottes and Rondas and maybe even Becky's of the world.
which is
I,
insane.
I would say I think it's possible for us to love all of those women because we obviously we speak about how amazingly talented they are. But yeah, Brad, to your point, it's insane. Like Sasha, you can call me a mark, Brad, but isn't Sasha not on the highest level of superstar tier in that company? That's blasphemous to me.
Out of all of them, besides Ronda, who's done a bunch of acting in various movies, in big budget movies, Sasha's transcended the WWE. She's one of the first female talents that I can think of that because Ronda did stuff before coming into the WWE, and Sasha did stuff while in it. So I can't think of another female talent. And correct me if I'm wrong here because I can't remember. I know Alexa Bliss has done some stuff, but that has actually transcended the WWE while there, a la the Rock, or even, there's other people to lesser success, but like John Cena's doing his acting thing now. The Rock is The Rock, and you have like Dave Bautista. I can't think of a female talent that's been able to reach that same level of success. Sasha Banks was in the freaking Mandalorian and apparently has some other stuff lined up. So, or just wrapped some stuff. I'm not actually sure. Has been doing modeling, has been doing all of these things, and it's like, I mean, if you're going star power, just wrestling star power, sure, Charlotte's probably the peak. Ronda is, you've made her a bigger deal, but I don't think she is a bigger deal. Do you remember what the internet was talking about after the women's Rumble match?
No, I don't.
They weren't talking about the match. They were talking about Sasha Banks.
Sasha, yeah, there you go. Yeah, the cosplay. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I remember now. I'm with you.
Yeah. Do you remember the crowd booing super loudly when she was eliminated? Nobody can tell me that Sasha Banks, that Mercedes Varnado, was not like one of the biggest stars in the company, if not the biggest female star in the company, at least for a while. She helped carry the company through the pandemic. She's the top of the top. It's crazy to think that she's below almost anybody in that company. It really bothers me, knowing that people think that she's not worthy of that spot or to have success in other companies. Like, get out of here with that. So I don't, going back to the question, while I don't think the WWE is going to have to address it directly and be like, we have to go hire somebody, we have to get this big star because Mercedes Moné is out there now. I don't think they need to worry about that. Maybe they do. Maybe they bring back a Deonna Purrazzo or something, or Chelsea Green won't have that same star power. I don't
maybe
think,
Naomi,
but
right? I think we often don't talk about Naomi's out there,
presumably
like, to be signed, right?
Yeah, but it didn't sound like she wanted to be. So I don't know that. I know she wanted to go back with Sasha and she didn't want to go back. So we'll see. It's no brainer to bring her back and have her maybe at the Rumble. She joins the Bloodline.
I was gonna say maybe she hits Sammy with a crowbar or something. Like we need Naomi in the Bloodline. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, and it makes sense. She is family, and I'm kind of surprised it didn't happen sooner. But I'm also not surprised because Vince. But if they could figure out a deal there, I'd love to see her go do that. But I don't know. That would be a big get for AEW. That would be, I don't know what you would do with Naomi in AEW. Like I don't want to see her become a baddie, I guess is, you know what I mean? Like,
no.
Stay at the top of the card. I was worried about it with Athena, and now Athena's killing it. And killing people. Like,
yes, she is
beating the ever living crap out of them. But
referees,
yes, everybody,
anyone can get it.
Yeah, exactly. And his current ROH Women's Champ, which is pretty great. So I don't know what you do with either of them if they're in AEW, but I want to see it if they're not in WWE, because otherwise I'm going to have to get up at 3 a.m. and watch, and I'm only doing that this one time.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, we're probably getting Sasha promo at Wrestle Kingdom, but before that, it's time for me to deliver a promo. Brad, I don't mean to monopolize this segment every month, but I do have something to say. So please cue up the music. It is time for another promo of the week.
And now, the promo of the week.
So, Brad, you may recall that I got a new phone recently. I now have an iPhone 13, and it was a journey to get this. Let me first ask you, what has your experience been with trading in phones, buying phones? Are you an AT&T guy? Remind me.
No, I'm a Verizon guy, and it's
Verizon.
been pretty dreadful. They flat out lied to my face about the teacher discount. Yeah.
Okay, I have a disc. Okay, yeah. Do you want to expand on that or just?
Sure. I was told $20 per line discount. It's $20 total. We would have kept our older phones, which were working just fine. But it was sold to us that it would be $20 per line. It was $20 total. So we got these new phones and we were like, we'll still be saving a couple of bucks a month if we buy brand new phones.
I remember this.
And and now we're paying more than we were before because the guy didn't know what he was talking about. There was nothing we could do about it.
Well, I guess this is not a unique situation. All these companies are filled with heels because I went to AT&T at Metro Center. So this is a Phoenix, Arizona-based story, and I actually went with my pops. We were doing this whole phone trading gimmick, and so traded in the old phone, right, for this new iPhone. Great opportunity, and like you, it's supposed to come with a discount, not a teacher discount in this case, but a trade in your old phone, like $90 credit discount.
You should still get a discount on your line.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But
There you go. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, we did get this $90 that I'm alluding to, but it was a process, man. So the long and short of it is, we show up, and we meet this guy. Frank is his name. Like this, like 5'3" jobber.
Sorry, not making a lot of Franks these days.
No, yeah, it was just weird because it was like, man, I was like clearly taller than this guy, and that doesn't happen very often in life. But I was just like towering over him at my, 5'7" on a good day. But anyway, like dude seems nice initially. Like he comes over with the tablet gimmick, and he basically starts saying that you can't do the $90 trade-in in store. It's like an online promotion only, and then tries to upsell us by saying, now what you really want to do is subscribe to the DirecTV package because that will save you blah, blah, blah. So immediately, Brad, it shifted to the upselling, not the reason we came here for, which is always my worst nightmare because I just don't feel comfortable in those situations. So eventually we get to the stage where we have to transfer data from phone to phone. So he tells us, okay, put the phones next to each other. You'll have to wait a little bit. Call me if you need me. So this dude never comes back to check on us, Brad. The customer service was just on zero. He's over there just BSing with colleagues. I think maybe they were talking about the World Cup game that was on. I don't know, just talking about work things. But he's just over there, never checks on us. And the real reason why I'm cutting this promo on Frank is because the phone finally transferred all the data, literally about 45 minutes to an hour later. It was not an instant process. And Frank is nowhere to be seen. So my pops and I try to get the quickest next person. This dude, Jamie, comes over. And he ends up telling us that, Frank just went on lunch. So he can help you in an hour. He can help you, but it's going to be about an hour. So what? But like, was he expecting me to say, oh, it's okay. My dad and I are going to walk over to Peter Piper. We're going to play some skee ball and we'll be back in 60. No, that's not how any of this goes. My brain just couldn't comprehend. From a customer service standpoint, I think all of our jobs, Brad, include some level of customer service, right?
Sure.
For you to just not give us the heads up, I think it was clear to me that he felt a way about us. We felt a way about him. Like, we were playing it cool during the whole situation, but secretly, I just don't think either side we're a big fan of one another. So Jamie tells us that. We're pretty shocked. And then we basically end up just walking out and my pops went over to the manager and said, I just want to let you know. He asked for the manager and then walked over to him and he said, I just want to let you know this was the worst customer experience ever. The dude, he kind of looked like Dario Cueto from Lucha Underground. He said, what happened? Why? And my dad, like an absolute certified G, said, "You'll see it on the Google review."
Ooh.
And then we walked
Ooh.
out, full John Moxley, full John Moxley level of hubris. We just walked out, probably did the John Moxley shoulder roll, and luckily we got the phone right. We just had to do the data transfer, like as an at home, more of a DIY thing. But fortunately, it's not like we stole anything or anything like that. But we left with the phone, and it was just a process, man. Had to mail the old phone to AT&T instead of just doing it in store to get the credit. So AT&T sucks, and I will never be going to the Metro Center location again. Thank you for
That's
listening.
amazing.
He'll be back in an hour. What? You don't tell us that ahead of time, even if you didn't like us? Like, how do you think this is going to end up going over well for you when we leave a 1-star review and bury you online by name? Not good.
That's amazing.
AT&T, man. Unbelievable.
No, I haven't had that level of a problem. Although I have had people do this to me. When I got my tattoo in college, I was supposed to meet with this woman, and she was going to give me my tattoo. She walked out, and nobody else in the shop seemed to notice. So I sat there for about 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours, just waiting for somebody to talk to me.
It's a whole day.
Yeah. So, the owner saw me and she was like, "Well, where is she?" She's like, "I don't know. She just dipped. She seemed mad." And she was mad. She went in the back, came back. She's like, "Come on, let's go. I'll do it right now." So I got a tattoo from the owner who was pissed. Gave me the tat, never changed the needles out to fill. So it's just an outline needle the whole time. Hurt, bled everywhere. But only charged me $20. So that was kind of nice that I got a really bad tattoo for $20. But
major discount.
Really, really bad customer service. I don't believe I'll be going back there. I don't believe I'll be able to anyway, because it's in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So not really on my radar these days.
Yeah, man. Customer service matters. I'm still horrified by that experience. Like, come on, AT&T Metro.
Yeah, customer service does matter, and so does question 2. Hit me with your AEW question, Tyler.
It does, man. Another GI episode, another tough decision for me to try to nail down just one AEW question. We know the Elite and Death Triangle tore it up once again. This best of 7 series has been amazing. Heel Samoa Joe rules and left with a ponytail of Wardlow. Red Velvet might be the woman to actually dethrone Jade? Question mark? But here is my question. I would love that, frankly. But here is my question for you. Pretty straightforward. Which tag team received the bigger pop in Casa Winchester this past week? The Acclaimed or JungleHook?
Oh, easily JungleHook.
Easily.
Now I'll it depends on what you mean. So are we talking in ring, or
we're talking either music video in ring?
That music video was pretty. I'm gonna say yeah, I'll take that back. I'll say the Acclaimed gave me the bigger pop, and it wasn't just because of the video, which was great, and the rap, which was I really enjoyed. It was Taz afterward calling the music video Snug. It might have been my favorite parts of all of wrestling in the last couple of weeks. Just wow, that was Snug. Like, what? It's a song, but it was. My hope there is that Max had gotten some approval for things before going out there and doing it. Like, how bad can I make this so that you guys don't beat the shit out of us when we're in the ring later on? Because I have a feeling that now that Jarrett said he was in his 34th or 36th year or whatever he said of professional wrestling, he's probably got that old man strength and could probably hurt a dude pretty good. I wouldn't mess with him. So we'll see what happens out of that. But I thought that was really great. But Hook going toe to toe with Big Will. Oh man, give me that. I thought he was hook flexing him. I thought it was going to be over. I loved all of that. I can't wait for that. The crowd was going nuts when they stood toe to toe.
It's gonna be a moment.
I can't wait for that, dude. Like, is Big Will or Big Bill? Is he the first L for Hook? He hasn't lost yet.
Maybe. Yeah, and I've been really impressed with his transition. Obviously, if you've been following his story, he really focused on his health outside of the
Yeah,
ring, and now he's engaged to Lexi Nair backstage, who seems wonderful. I think he has a really imposing presence. Like, I think this dude is the tallest man I've ever seen on my television. There's something about his presentation. I don't know if it's the tan or the six pack or just the sheer height, but
yeah,
he is imposing. I think he needs to. I would honestly not be mad if he was Hook's first L. I'm that big of a fan of just his overall look and what he
I
can
agree.
do.
Well, I think the people that we see that are that size are never that jacked.
Yeah,
He looks like a normal dude, like a jacked normal sized dude, until he's standing next to people, and you're like, oh my god, this is an
massive.
enormous human being.
Yes.
And then you put him with Hook, who is on the shorter side. He's
Yeah.
Taz's kid.
Yeah. He's
Um,
like 5'11", 6 feet
Yes,
maybe.
I don't even know if he's
At
that. He
that.
might be shorter than that
Wow.
if you count the
Wow.
hair.
Yeah, the
Maybe,
hair
but
definitely
yeah,
adds some volume for sure.
yeah. I don't know what.
5'10" maybe.
Yeah, that's my guess. I'm gonna look it up right now. But like having him standing next to Morrissey was unbelievable.
Yeah, but
Uh,
he got out of that choke slam so quickly
wow.
and
Yeah.
so effortlessly.
So Hook is 6 foot. I thought he
Okay.
was the same height as Taz, who is around our height, 5'9". Taz is 5'9",
Mhm.
but Hook is 6 feet and still a foot shorter.
Yeah,
than Big Bill.
I can't wait for that.
It's
I
crazy.
don't know when this tag match is going to happen. It's obviously probably not going to wait till Revolution. Maybe it'll be
Yeah.
a big Dynamite or Rampage match. But man, I think what they're doing here is just what a great mid card feud.
Yes, thank you. Yes. They don't have they have a mid card belt. They have the TNT championship, but they're treating it like the old IC belt where even the current one, it doesn't feel mid card. It feels like the most important thing on the show, which is why I love what they've been doing with Gunther this whole time. So, I man, Kaiser's promo, can we talk about that for a second?
Absolutely.
I love when he introduces Gunther because he takes his damn time. It is so irritating. It is so irritating. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just so grating and just get on with it, bro. I kind of love that. Uh so for having a mid-card feud happening on Dynamite or Rampage with Hook, and just having somebody else be important and not really having a title on the line, even though he is the FTW title holder. I'm here for it, man. Like, I love it. I don't need them to be tag champs, Jungle Boy and Hook, but I'd love them to go on a run. Same thing that they did with Hookhausen. I thought that was fun. Like, it was a little run they went on. They beat some dudes up and then went on and did their separate thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well said. That it really didn't last that long, the
No,
partnership of Hook and Danhausen. But like you said, perhaps it didn't need to. They had that run for a month or so. It led to a really exciting buy-in match, and he's on to the next. Yeah, Jungle Boy and Hook are just total single stars, like big attractions. I think
yeah,
Jungle Boy is going to get a TNT title run at some point this year, and I'm really eager to see where Hook goes in 23. Obviously, like you said, Brad, he has the FTW strap. But what is his is his ceiling going to be beyond that this year? FTW rules, right? Like, you and I love Taz. I'm probably wearing a Taz shirt to Dynamite in February. Um, but where do we see Hook going, right? Could Hook
sure.
be in that TNT title picture by year's end? I don't know. I love the guy.
I don't know either, but I'm going to use this as a way to transition out because you brought up the TNT title.
Let's go. We got to talk about it.
So we have Darby versus Samoa Joe coming up in Seattle, Darby's hometown. Darby's wanted this belt for almost 2 years now, I think. He wants it back. Ever since he made that righteous cameo for you. Um, okay, let's say Darby goes into this. He got all fired up from Sting. Number one, do you think this match leads to another Darby title reign? Number two, if not, who takes the TNT strap from Samoa Joe?
Mhm. I'm going to make this one pretty simple. I think Darby's taking it. I could absolutely picture this being the main event. I know Samoa Joe just main evented, but I was thinking about this in preparation for what you might ask me. And Darby versus Samoa Joe, I think it has to be the main event, right? Of the
Yeah, well,
Seattle show.
Max isn't wrestling. He's
Right.
appearing.
He's contractually obligated
Yeah.
to appear.
So that leads us with Jade, who I don't think is wrestling.
I think it's going to be Red Velvet and
Not on,
Jade.
but that's on
Oh,
Rampage, not Dynamite, though, right?
I thought it was on Dynamite
Oh,
actually.
maybe it is.
Red
She is
Velvet and
the
Jade versus Hogan and
Well, that would make
Kiara
more
Hogan
sense. Yeah,
and
that would make more
Sky Blue.
sense.
I
Yeah,
believe so.
but it's not a belt defense. It's just a
No.
match.
Danielson
So
versus Tony Nese,
yeah,
Swerve versus AR Fox.
Mox and Hangman. There's all kinds of great matches on this card. It's going to be insane. And we have the mystery partner, I believe. Right? Like is that match? No, that's the following week.
That's
yeah,
the Forum in LA. Yep, coming up.
But I think they were going to address something on Friday, so
Right.
we'll find out more then, I guess.
TNT has to main event this Washington show, and Darby is winning the belt.
The outline, by the way, to that outline of the mystery partner, if anything, I thought it looked like Thunder Rosa's lights out, the hair things on the side. People were like, that's Sasha from the Rumble. And it's like, no, that's pretty clearly Thunder Rosa's outline. But if they're going to announce it on that Friday for the mystery partner, okay, that's Thunder Rosa's return. I'm glad they announced that ahead of time, because otherwise Disappointment City. But if it's not announced there, you almost have to bank on it being, well, you see what I did there.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
It's going to be Sasha.
Yeah, I'm with you. That was me kind of filibustering to say, yes, I agree. I think Darby wins.
And this kind of snuck up on me. I did not foresee that Darby was going to be TNT champ again, at least anytime soon. I think you and I even lamented that. What's going on with him? We know he's going to be penciled in to have a tag match with Sting at nearly every pay-per-view, but year one, Darby was one of your biggest rising stars. Where does he go from here? I'm really excited about his second TNT title reign potentially.
I also think that that Wardlow is the reason that Samoa Joe loses the match. I don't know that if he gets involved necessarily, but I like directly, but he might just come out, have the music play, come out. Samoa Joe gets distracted. Darby missile, maybe even Sting gets involved.
Yeah, great pep talk he gave Darby.
Yeah, who knows?
Doesn't matter what any of us say. It matters if you believe you can do it.
God, that was so good.
Darby is winning this belt. There's no way
after that promo,
down.
After you got Sting that fired up, and I saw people going like, "Well, Sting shouldn't be doing all these matches, and why is he still paired with Darby?" And it's like
ridiculous.
Sting's doing those matches because Darby Allin, the person, convinced him to go in and wrestle. He wasn't going to wrestle, and Darby's like, "Well, why don't you just try doing this?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I could do that. Why don't you try doing this?" Okay, yeah, what the hell? That was jumping off crap, and it's insane. And I know he has a short run left, because we only get him for what I think he said 3 years or 2 years. He was going to do it and then retire for good. I don't know that he should. Like, he's still doing this role perfectly. So
yeah. There was a really great piece on the Ringer from Cameron Hawkins this week about Sting and learning the background of the initial talks between Tony Khan and Sting. I didn't realize that Tony Khan texted Sting trying to persuade him to come back, and Sting didn't respond to that man's text for a year. And then out of the blue, Sting says, "Oh, about that idea, tell me more." Yeah, you and I have just absolutely loved Sting's contributions to AEW. It's hit all the right notes for us. I think he's even undefeated. He's won every match he's been in, which is so perfect and is obviously a far cry from his time in WWE, unfortunately. So yeah, man, Darby's winning, and I'm so glad you mentioned Wardlow, because I think he reminded us this past week that he is still that dude. Yeah. The crowd was all for him. I know he was obviously, selling that worked injury, but Brad, when this man does a whisper in the wind so effortlessly, and the way he hit Joe and just sort of bounced off him, I left that match thinking, wait, Wardlow is still that guy, and maybe we get an MJF versus Wardlow main event program for the big belt. I don't think we can forget, like, man, Wardlow, he's him still.
Yeah, man, I have nothing else to add there. Like, Wardlow he is a spectacle. Every time he's in the ring, he seems better. I don't need to see him doing technical matches. And sometimes he wrestles like a luchador. It doesn't make any sense. That senton, my God,
Yeah,
The dude floats.
it was a bit. I popped for two things actually about this match. At the end, when Samoa Joe kind of fake like, oh, I'm about to give this guy a sign of respect, but then just cracks him with the belt. I saw a few people in the audience just go like clap for Samoa Joe being evil. I was like, what are we doing here? That wasn't nice of Joe.
Strange.
And then I think it was Tony Schiavone who called Wardlow a kid. Like, this kid gave his heart tonight. It's like, I think Wardlow's 34, but he does look pretty youthful, I suppose. Do you think he's just going with the shaven head look from now, or just like a closed crop?
No idea. I have no idea what he's gonna do.
Dude's a sex symbol, and that ponytail, I think, was a part of it.
Yeah, I think Shivani, though, calling him a kid has that right, since he's double his age.
This is true.
Could literally be his child. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his hair is going to look like. I actually kind of glad the man bun went away. I think it's an opportunity to give him a new presentation. Because when I still see him, I still think of him as being part of the Pinnacle.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So we'll see what happens there. In a recent interview, or maybe it was the compilation of interviews from, I think that's what it was, from AEW Unrestricted, he said the only reason he was wearing the singlet is because he was out of shape before. So,
oh wow,
yeah, he just didn't. It was partially because of guys he respected. Bret Hart wore it, and a bunch of other people wore it, but it was partially to cover up his flabs. So now it's you didn't have that problem anymore, Tyler. He can just go ahead and get rid of that thing. Exactly. But I don't know if he will. It's part of the presentation now, so we'll see. I don't know. Maybe he goes away for a while and then comes back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe this is his vacation. Maybe he's like Samson and his power's gone now.
Yeah. Well said. And we know in so many instances, the absence really does make the heart grow fonder, right? In real life, in wrestling. I just thought he had a really great showing here, and I could just absolutely envision him versus MJF at a big show in 23.
Yeah, hopefully we get that. I would be really grateful. And speaking of gratitude, Tyler, it's time once again for us to show our gratitude.
And now it's time for a little self-reflection. So, think about yourselves. Or something.
So this week, I thought I'd kick us off here because usually I don't. And I was really trying to think, like, what can I say that is different than what we normally go to, and speaking from the heart is something that we try to do as much as possible. We don't script our shows, we just go, and that's kind of it. We outline what we're going to do and what order we're going to do it in, but ultimately this is organic. And this is kind of the same thing with the gratitude stuff. But I wanted to say I'm grateful for opportunities that seem to keep coming my way, and the opportunity for growth and for learning. Really big believer that if I can make myself invaluable in different ways, that people can't ever get rid of me. And I'm trying to learn as much as humanly possible about everything that I possibly can. And I'm really grateful for this time off. I needed it. I needed a reset, a hard reset. But I know that coming up here, school's starting back up soon, both work and in grad school. But I'm grateful that I can do both. And I'm really grateful that theater season's about to kick off. Cannot wait. It's how we just have so much like high quality wrestling in our lives, really good entertainment right now, that I'm just happy to be around and be able to talk to you about it. I think it's absolutely awesome. Grateful for you, grateful for GI, grateful for 19, grateful for this year, and grateful for the year ahead.
Amen. So eloquent. I love what you said about resets. I think that's kind of where my mind is heading into this new year. I'm really trying to adopt this mindset of waking up every day, not just with gratitude and positivity. Of course, that's important. I want to continue to try to be more consistent at that. But with this idea that, man, today could be like the greatest day ever, of the year, of the decade, I don't know, of my life. You just never know. I think there have been so many sort of serendipitous moments over the last few months, professionally, personally, where you just kind of feel like you're in the right place at the right time, or maybe someone recognizes your talent or your ability or your just sheer effort, right? Whether it's friendships, relationships, work stuff that I'm just really trying to adopt that mindset of like, why should I wake up and be pissed off about an email or a meeting, or I don't know, like someone didn't like my photo. It's just really silly things that don't matter. Whereas, if I'm like, man, today's going to be a great day, and maybe it's going to be the best day I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
I think the days truthfully end up being pretty positive. Like our mindset is just so crucial. So I'm all about that reset life and more and more positivity this year.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it. Tyler,
less AT&T trip. I will not be going there this week. Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, I just look at when that happened. Yeah, man, this week I am heading back to the office. So we had this glorious work from home opportunity recently over the holidays. But like you said, it's starting to get back into, okay, work is a thing and school's coming back up. Yeah, man. But this week, nothing too major. Obviously getting back in the swing of things at work, meeting with prospective students and families, being back on campus. It should be really nice. Obviously, like you said, wrestling wise, I think we're going to have a lot of great matches and promos, and dare I say, even debuts or teases of debuts. So I think it should be a really glorious one on all fronts. How about you? This is your last week of winter break.
I'm looking forward to getting in and doing some work for 19. I'm looking forward to hopefully helping out a friend of the show. And I'm really looking forward to Wrestle Kingdom, man. Like Wrestle Kingdom 17, I think it's going to rule. I was looking at that card going, oh my God, there are some incredible matches on this card. It's going to start at like 3 a.m. I'm probably going to lose my mind.
Who needs a sleep schedule?
Yeah.
Overrated.
I'll just nap during the day, get up, watch it go. And I'm probably going to have a blast. I doubt I'll be the only one up at that time, but you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait for it. And I can't wait for the week ahead because it's something I'm going to really, really, really enjoy. I think just time off sitting.
Yeah, I love it, man. And we love all of you for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, I encourage you to follow Brad on Twitter. He can be found at WindDuster. I can be found at Tyler J. McDowell, and we can be found at GIPod19. We hope you had as much fun as we did, and rest assured, we will be seeing you very, very soon. Gimmick Infringement is a part of 19 Media Group. You can listen to us on Good Pods, our premier partners, and Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube via the 19 Media Group channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.